know what I'm saying?
Yo, people, you know what it is. More time is more time. I'm the monk, and we're back with another Monk's Boxing Breakdown, episode number 25. And this time we have Anthony AJ Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. And it's going to be a banger, you know what I'm saying? Heavyweight, sensational scrap there, mate. You know what I mean, mate? It's going to be sensational now. But yeah, you know what it is. You know what we do here at Monk's Boxing Breakdown. We have a little look at the tail of the tape and we see where both fighters are in their respective careers. And we make a fight prediction. And yeah, I like to keep these ones short and sweet, around 15-20 minutes. Sometimes we go over, sometimes we under. But you get the idea. You know what it is. But yeah, it's a big fight. Anthony's Joshua's back on the rise. So is Daniel Dubois. To be honest, both fighters have had a fairly good recent spell in the heavyweight division. Daniel Dubois beating Jacob Miller and Philip Hergovich. Two solid victories there, two solid dubs. You gotta respect it, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, he had 4 fights in 1 year. The last two being sorry, let me just change this lighting real quick. But yeah, the last two being what's that guy called? The Viking. I always forget. Robert Hellenius. What's that? Hellenius with a knockout against Hellenius and knocked out Francis Ngannou. Uh, from the last two fights, respectively, I would say Daniel Dubois had the harder fights. I feel like Ngannou could probably knock out Dubois, to be honest, but he's not a boxer. He's a mixed martial artist who had his second fight in boxing. His first fight against Fury, he did very well, and that's what got him into the AJ fight to begin with. But that doesn't change the fact that he's not really a boxer in it. He's good, but he's not like elite level. Whereas Daniel's been fighting some elite level opposition. Hergovich, he's been touted as the boogeyman of the division, which I don't really agree with. I haven't really seen him fight too many people. I thought he lost against Zhang. And Jacob Miller, who's another unproven bum, you know what I mean? Big for nothing, big mouth, just chats the most. Um, so yeah, people, that's pretty much it for the two fighters, for their last two fights. They're both big guys, you know what I mean? Athletic, strong, but I do think Anthony Joshua has the beating on all categories against Dubois, whether that's speed, power, precision, fight IQ, punch selection. It all tilts into Anthony Joshua's favour, but we're gonna get into that in a minute anyway. But you know what it is. If you catch the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subs. We're on about 470, so 30 more subs or so, we reach that target, and then we'll be on to the next target. But yeah, if you could help out the channel and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Also hit the like button, man. Bring more people into the videos and that, for the algorithms and that, you know what I'm saying. But without further ado, let's get into the tail of the tape, baby. You know what I'm saying. So head over to the screen capture, mates. Alright. Oh, my tab is gone. My tab, where's my tab? But yeah, as you know here, Monk's Boxing Breakdown, we like to use Box Live or Box Rec, either, whatever one you like. They both come with good boxing info, stats and facts and all that, you know what I'm saying? You can, and fight dates you can schedule in for your calendar. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Sounding a bit like a microwave in there at the minute. Ain't got the volume noise gate on, I have to sort that out another time. But yeah, man, this is the tale of the tape. September the 21st, 2024, on a Saturday. Is that this Saturday coming or next Saturday? What day is it now? Um, so it's the 17th, yeah. So yeah, this weekend, this Saturday, we've got big one. Daniel Dubois versus AJ Anthony Joshua. The fight will be streamed in America and the UK, both on the Zone pay per view. It's 12 rounds at heavyweight, and it's for a title. You know what I'm saying? Um, they're saying the fight should be around 10:15 if you're watching from the UK, and around 4 p.m. No, broadcast start fight around 4 p.m. So from 4 p.m. to 10:15 is around the timings they're looking to do. But you know, with these fights all the time, the main card doesn't really happen till like 12, 1 o'clock. But yeah, you can see here we have the IBF World Heavyweight Championship on the line. So can Anthony Joshua become a three-time heavyweight world champion, or will Daniel Dubois have his first proper defense of his title against Anthony Joshua, who will be a credible um, opponent, and he will be crowned the new champion and would have earned it? Because to be honest with you, I don't really feel like Daniel's earned. We'll get into that anyway. The tail of the tape. Anthony Joshua, he's 34 years old, a height of 6'6", with a reach of 81.9. Fights out of the orthodox stance. He's got, in his last 5 fights, he's won 4 of them. He had a split decision loss against Usyk, and then went on a run of 4 fights. So he's in the green. Another win over Daniel, and it's all green. So his form will be, he'll be on the peak of his powers yet again. He's got 28 wins, 25 coming by way of KO, with a KO percentage of 89%. Here at Monk's Boxing Breakdown, we like it to be anything over 75%. That means you're getting your opponent out of here. You're not leaving it to the judges, scorecards, and leaving yourself open to be robbed. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting a man out of here quick time. You know what I'm saying? He's had 3 losses, 2 of those to Andy Ruiz. No, 1 of those to Andy Ruiz, and 2 to Alexander Usyk, the current unified champion. Undisputed unified champion, Alexander Usyk. He's got a rematch Fury in future, but we'll get into that on their episode of Monk's Boxing Breakdown. He's only been stopped once in his career. That was against Andy Ruiz, when the referee waved it off. He got knocked down about 4 times, but he wasn't I wouldn't call it a stoppage, to be honest. It was stopped, but you get what I mean. He wasn't out on the floor or knocked out and that. Daniel Dubois, on the other hand, he's age 27, so he's a little bit younger, with a height of 6'5", a bit shorter, with a reach of 78 inches. So again, he's putting up. He fights out of orthodox stance also, but just from that alone, you can see that Anthony Joshua's had a lot more experience due to age. He's a bit taller, and he's got a lot longer reach. So it currently falls in Anthony Joshua's favour, even with those stats there. Form wise, Daniel Dubois had a KO in the 4th, a TKO in the 3rd, KO round 9 loss to Usyk. I think that was it. So he lost to Joe Joyce, got a couple wins. Yeah, lost to Usyk, and then went on the 2 wins with a TKO versus Gerald Miller, and a TKO round 10 win against Jacob Miller, and a TKO round 8 win versus Filip Hrgovic. He's got 21 wins, 20 big wins coming by way of knockout, with a knockout percentage of 95%. So Daniel Dubois is right up there with his knockout percentages. 21 wins, 21 by way of KO, which is really good. 2 losses, The two losses were Joyce and Alexander Usyk. He was stopped in both of them. I feel like in the Joyce fight he quit, um, and he also quit in the Usyk fight. So Daniel's a bit of a quitter, and we're gonna get into that shortly. Uh, as you can see here as well, 90 pro rounds for Daniel Dubois, starting his career in 2017. AJ, on the other hand, started his career in 2013 and has 162 pro rounds. So he's had 70 more fights or so than Daniel Dubois. Current rankings wise, the Ring Magazine has Anthony Joshua at 2 and has Daniel Dubois at 6. The other organisations don't really have Daniel Dubois listed. The WBC's not got Anthony Joshua listed here, or the WBA. However, he's number 1 on the WBO and 3rd in the IBF. And considering this is for the IBF, he'll be fighting. He'll go up to number 1 on most of them when if he beats Daniel Dubois, which I'll get into in a second. So that's the tail of the tape for both guys. So let's have a little. Let's talk about it. Let's get back over to the main scene. So yeah, as you can see from both fighters' stats, that they're both on the incline. They're both going up, and this will be a roadblock for both of them. You know what I mean? If one of them lose, if both of them lose, but you get what I mean. If AJ loses the roadblock, he'll have to build up again. Can he do it? Yeah, I think he can do it, but will he want to? I don't know. He's kind of done what he's had to in boxing already. Daniel Dubois, he's had a few losses. He's quit quite a few times, and if he quits in this fight with AJ, then I feel like Daniel would have reached a ceiling, and we would know Daniel Dubois' level. I still think Daniel has to right a few wrongs. The Joyce fight, he has to fight Joyce again, and because Joyce is pretty much finished, innit? You might as well go back and collect that scalp. The guy that beat you, you might as well get revenge and set that wrong right. It's gonna be a good fight. Like I said just a minute ago, all the stats fall in favour of Anthony Joshua, and just where he's at confidence wise with his trainer Ben Davison, I feel like he's in a real good space. He's hitting harder than ever, he's moving quicker than ever, and more importantly, he's gone through the experience, and he's got quite a bit of experience on Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, being the young dog, has that youthful exuberance, you know what I'm saying, that youthful naivety. So he's not, you kind of could, because he's quit twice, so he has had the dog beaten out of him a little bit. I feel like Dubois, he had those 2 good wins, so his confidence will be up. New trainer, yeah. It's a tough one, but I just feel like Anthony Joshua's just got that little bit more extra in all categories over Daniel Dubois, except Daniel being the young dog, the underdog. Will he rise to the occasion and want to just dethrone Anthony Joshua? Because if he does dethrone Anthony Joshua, that's a big statement. He would have arrived, you know what I mean? That's a good scalp to have for anybody looking to make their way in the heavyweight division. And especially the timing, because people will see it as a peak of powers Anthony Joshua, not like a downbeaten Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? He's on the rise. He's coming back up, and Daniel Dubois can make it known to the world that he's the new dog in town. You know, the new big dog. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it personally. I think it's gonna be a bit cagey in the it may be the one or two rounds that it'll be a feeling out process, and then bombs are gonna fly, and it's whoever gets hit first the hardest, I guess. You know what I mean? Does Dubois have power to trouble Anthony Joshua? I think he does, but then again, it's not like knockout power. It's more like a cumulative damage, and but on the other hand, Anthony Joshua has that one bang capability, so it's going to be dangerous for Daniel Dubois because he's got to get on the inside, and in order to do that, he's got to try not get hit. You know what I mean? And Anthony Joshua is known for a good jab. Daniel Dubois' jab's not too bad either, but to work his way into a range where he can let off, he's gonna have to try and do what Usyk done and punch in between punches of Anthony Joshua. That's what Usyk done and Andy Ruiz. They just timed it so they were counter punching in between all the spaces and being very successful at it. AJ, I feel like he's learned a lot from those defeats, even down to how he's jabbing. He's jabbing more like Usyk now, rather than jabbing over the top of the guard. He's jabbing underneath through the center, and it's a lot harder to avoid. And it also keeps him more tight defensively in his stance as he's throwing it, and he can counter hard off that shape, off the way he's shaped up, off the jab. I feel like Ben Davidson's going to come with a really good game plan. So is Daniel Dubois' trainer Charles, Don Charles. So it's gonna be one for the fans. You know what I mean? It's the one we need. I feel like it will go in Anthony Joshua's favor. I just feel like it's kind of his timeline still in this whole boxing thing. I think he beats Dubois, and then hopefully the Sheikh tries to set up the Fury fight. He can duff up Fury, and then try and beat Usyk again. You know what I mean? I think those are the three fights Anthony Joshua needs in his career to be labelled as the top dog again. Sorry if you can hear the rumbling of the washing machine in the background, but you know, life must go on. You know what I'm saying? I got shit to do, son. I need clothes wash. But yeah, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. Then he can ride off into the sunset as unified, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. If the timeline changes and it becomes Daniel Dubois' timeline, I feel like he beats AJ. He then goes on to fight Fury. Can he beat Fury? I don't think he'll beat Fury. I don't think he's got enough zip. He's got power, don't get me wrong. Daniel Dubois is very powerful, but zip is different. Zip is power and speed, and I feel like he's a bit sluggish. You know what I'm saying? And even in the fight with Joe Joyce, you've seen a bit of the sluggery going on, whereas Anthony's got a lot more zip. You know what I mean? And zip is what knocks people out. So without the zip, I don't think Dubois does Tyson Fury any. Doesn't put fear in him. You know what I mean? Usyk doesn't have that much zip, to be honest, but he's a lot more educated in his approach to boxing. His footwork's great. His agility's great. His fight IQ's great. Whereas Daniel's lacking compared to Usyk in those categories. Also in the heart category, Usyk's got way more heart. I also feel like Anthony Joshua's got way more heart than Dubois. But if Dubois does come through victorious against Tyson Fury, then he can go on to rematch Usyk and maybe become the undisputed. So it's a good fight path for both fighters. I think they both have the same fights lined up. Whoever wins, you know what I mean? I feel like they would just fast track Dubois into the AJ position where he can fight Tyson Fury and Usyk. However, if AJ loses, what can he do? I don't feel like he's got that much things to do left, you know what I mean? I think they can still set up the Tyson Fury fight. He's still going to be a big household name in boxing, so he can still collect a few scalps and make a few dollars, make a few pounds, make a few bucks, make a few yen. You know what I'm saying? But he won't be able to reach the heights that he will do if he beats Daniel Dubois on Saturday. And I feel like it's kind of written in the stars. So for my fight prediction for Monk's Boxing Breakdown episode 24, I'm going with Anthony Joshua win. I'm going Daniel Dubois is gonna quit. He's gonna quit in the eighth. I feel like the first two rounds are gonna be touchy feely, trying to figure out who's who, like who's bringing what, who's flinching to what, who's reacting to what, and then we'll get some action in rounds 3 to 5. Then the damage will be done in round 6. Daniel will hold on for a round, and then he'll make another mistake in the eighth, and he could get knocked out cold, or he might just quit. It might just be a Wilding situation, when Wilding just took too many heavy shots in his corner, threw in the towel, knew it was only a matter of time before he got sparked out cold. I feel like the same situation with Daniel Dubois, so I'm going for the Anthony Joshua win in the did I say yeah the eighth round by TKO or stoppage. And yeah, people, that's it. That's the Monk's Boxing Breakdown number 24. I like to keep these ones short and sweet. You know what I'm saying? This one's just hit 20 minutes, so it's a bit longer than normal, but it's a big fight, and we'll do some more talking about it. And we'll be doing a watch along on Saturday for the fight, so make sure you tune in to the More Time channel, baby. You know what I'm saying? Come join in, come join the chat, drop some comments, get the banter going. Let me know your predictions for the fight down in the comments. Who's gonna win? What round? And yeah, it's good stuff. Boxing is here, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I be the monk. You're watching More Time. More Time is more time. I'm out of here. Slow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?